Warner is the Secretary of State, and he joins us on Metro News Talkline. Also joined by Harrison County Clerk Susan Thomas, who's also president of the West Virginia County Clerks Association. Good morning to you both. Thanks for coming on
Good
today.
morning,
We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for coming on. Susan, I'll get to you in a minute, but Mac, I want to start here is that before I get to this, you are a veteran. You have served your country in, I think, both Iraq and Afghanistan, and you actually started your event with a salute or acknowledgement of the anniversary. I think that was very appropriate. Well done there.
Well, thank you. It was a moving tribute this morning. Had a great opportunity, well attended by most of the clerks, and we just paid tribute to those what happened 16 years ago, and tied in our soldiers overseas and those serving in Iraq and Afghanistan and why they're there, but also to the first responders everywhere, and just what in these worst of times and the worst you see in human nature on 9/11, you also saw the best of human nature, and that's what we want to go forward with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Celebrating those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very appropriate on this anniversary. So, Mac, this is your first election as the Secretary of State. Heat's on, brother. I mean, you got to get this. This is important. Even though it's only one issue, you still got to count all the votes and all the precincts and get it right. And I know you're going to say, well, the clerk's got to get that done, but this is you got to get it right.
Well, I'm heartened about what I'm seeing here, and I'd gotten around to most of the county clerks, maybe 40, 42 of them, since I've been elected, so I already knew what I was working with. But seeing them here in one place, this gives us the opportunity to network, to train, and they're ready to go. I am not hearing the complaint. There are issues. There's issues, with polling places and finding poll workers. That's a busy weekend and so forth, but nobody's shying from their duties. They're ready to take this on.
Mike, I'll get back to you in a second. Let me go to one of those clerks. Susan Thomas is the Harrison County Clerk, president of the County Clerks Association. So, Susan, it seems like these elections are sometimes more difficult because it's a Saturday. People have made plans. It's not like everything is shut down as it would be on a normal election day, and you got to have the right number of people in all those polls. How difficult is it going to be for clerks to man to get all these polls manned?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to do that in any election. This is a paper election, which means they're going to have to count the ballots themselves once the polls close, which a lot of them, I don't even know if they realize that. I mean, I've started classes trying to get that, and I'm probably going to have to push to find some poll workers because, like you said, it's on a Saturday. A lot of things are going on that weekend.
Mm-hmm. So, Susan, you said paper. So is this are counties not going to use their machines?
I think most counties are not, but I'm not positive of that. It's not required, so we're not going to go. Harrison County is not going to go to the expense of programming machines for that day.
So it's just in some of these counties it's going to be old-fashioned, mark the ballot, then after the polls close, old-fashioned, sit there and count one yes, one no, one yes.
That's the way it'll be.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to take a long time to count them all?
I don't think so, because I don't know what kind of turnout we're going to have. I mean, 6 months into my first term, we had a paper election, and, there wasn't a lot of turnout because, again, it was on a Saturday. So we'll see.
Okay. Mac, what are there any changes for this election from the previous election? I was just looking on Twitter, and I was watching one of your presentations or tweets about your presentations. Are you going to have an ID to vote?
Not for this election. The ID laws haven't taken place. They've been passed, but they haven't been implemented yet. And just back to the previous point, let me use this as an opportunity to advertise. If there's anybody out there that would like to be a poll worker, please contact your county clerk. I'm sure that they can put you to work. So you've got to live in the county that you're working as a poll worker. But please come out and give your clerks a hand. We've got festivals, we've got ball games, we've got all kinds of things going on that weekend. So we can use your help.
Yeah, understood. Okay, so if you're looking for poll workers, contact your local county clerk. So you don't need the ID law doesn't apply. You do not need any sort of identification to vote as long as you are a registered voter and you're on the rolls, right?
That's correct for this election. Yes.
Okay, Mac. What else do you want to emphasize about this upcoming election?
Well, we just encourage people to vote. It's a significant issue, and there are two sides to it. We need the roads, we need the infrastructure. That's the governor's plan. And by the way, the governor's going to be here today to express his appreciation to the clerks for assisting in this election. And then there's the other side, and that is the payment over the the 25 years that we would be passing on to our children to make this happen. So it's an issue we need to hear from the people. That's why it's required by the Constitution that we have an election to hear the people's voice. So if you have a position on this, please get. We're going to talk registration in a minute, but please get out and vote on October 7th. We're just 1 month away.
Well, you said you're going to talk registration in a minute, I guess, at the conference, but what do you want folks to know here about voter registration for the election?
Well, the last day to register for this special election is next Monday, Monday the 18th. And so if you're not registered right now to vote, get to your county clerk or get on the website and register to vote by next Monday. Now, this whole month is voter registration month. That's nationwide. But I don't want people to be confused to think, well, I'll just go register at the end of September and vote on October 7th. You can't do that. You have to be registered to vote by September 18th. That's 1 week from today. And then early voting starts the following Friday, October 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
So
that is
September 22nd.
Registration. If you're not already registered, if you're already registered, you're okay clearly to vote. Yes. Vote in the election.
Good point.
So Mac Warner's with us, who's West Virginia Secretary of State, and also Susan Thomas, who's Harrison County Clerk and President of the West Virginia County Clerks Association. Susan, you see people every day come in your office for a variety of business transactions and such and research. Do people know about this election? Do they know? Maybe they've heard something about the road bond, but do they know it's coming up? Are they aware of it? Or are they just sort of vaguely aware of it? I mean, we're consumed by it because that's what we do. But if folks going about their daily business, do they know about it?
I would be surprised. I mean, I would say the majority doesn't know because there's not been a lot of publicity. I know the governor's just now starting to get around to various areas of the state, to get it out there.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think, Susan, in Harrison County? You know your voters pretty well, I'm sure. What do you think the turnout's going to be?
I think it'll be a low percentage. Because, we locally have a lot of festivals going on, like the Secretary said, we've got ball games. It's just a busy Saturday, busy weekend.
Mm-hmm. Of course, people can early vote. They can go early vote. Right. And it's it's easy to do. It's easy.
And this time there's 11 days instead of 10. There's 11 days to early vote. So.
Oh, really?
Two Saturdays.
Okay.
9 to 5 on each Saturday, and then the courthouse hours the other days.
Okay. Mac, do you think turnout's going to be, usually these special elections, I'm thinking 10 to 15%. What do you think?
I think you're hitting the nail on the head there, Hoppy. Yeah. And that's why I appreciate you bringing this on so we can get the word out to folks. But there's just those conflicting agendas that people have on that Saturday. So do use that early voting option.
Yeah, I would agree. Susan, do you like early voting?
Yes, I do. I think it's a wonderful thing. Sometimes I think maybe if we could change the hours a little bit, a couple days, to get those people that go to work early. Like we do on Election Day, might be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them complain they can't make it, but if there's really that's what it is. It's no excuse. You should be able to vote. You've got 11 days in this case to go vote.
Yeah, and again,
I would encourage everybody to go do it.
And what day again does early voting start?
It starts September 22nd.
September 22nd. It goes for 11 days. September 22nd for 11 days. That'll be Monday through Saturday in most counties or every county?
Every county in the state.
Okay. All right. And then the election is on the 7th. And, Mac, normal hours for the election, right?
That's correct, yes.
6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And Metro News will – and, Mac, I'll give you also this is a little in-house business, but Metro News will be providing coverage, of course, of the election results that night. So, Mac and Susan, alert your folks. We're going to be calling you. I know you got a lot going on, but we'll be calling you election night to get those results so we can pass them along to the people of West Virginia. So help us out on that, will you please?
We'll be there.
We appreciate that coverage.
Yeah, no problem. Mac, anything else you want to add about this election coming up? We'll have you back when early voting starts. Anything else you want to add?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to speak and get people energized about this election and get them out to vote. I appreciate your coverage.
All right, Susan, anything you want to add? Anything else you want people to know or reemphasize about the election?
No, I just want to reiterate what the Secretary said. Just get out and vote and make sure you're registered. Do any changes to your registration, and just, again, go vote on October 7th or during the early voting period.
Yeah. All right. Susan Thomas, Harrison County Clerk, President, West Virginia County Clerks Association. Mac Warner, Secretary of State. We're going to continue to push out information about the bond so that, and, encourage people so they have the information. They can decide which way they want to vote, and hopefully they'll go out and vote. So, Susan, thank you. Mac, thank you. And we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you, Hoppy.